Welcome to USA Old Coins, your ultimate destination for exploring the fascinating world of American coins. Today, we're diving into the iconic Washington quarter dollars, celebrating every state in the Union. From the stunning designs that capture each state's unique history to the stories behind these collectible treasures, this video will take you on a journey across the United States, one quarter at a time. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious about the stories these coins tell, stay tuned, because each quarter has a tale worth discovering. Top 1. Today, let us travel westward in spirit, across wide skies and endless horizons, guided by a single coin that carries the soul of the American frontier within it. The United States of America Washington quarter dollar state Montana 2007 is more than just a piece of currency. It is a quiet storyteller, whispering tales of open land, powerful rivers, and a way of life shaped by strength, patience, and freedom. Montana has always been known as Big Sky Country, a place where the land feels larger than life and time seems to move at a different pace. When Montana was chosen for its own state quarter, the goal was not to impress with noise or excess, but to capture the deep, steady character of the state. This coin reflects that philosophy perfectly, honoring Montana's identity with dignity and balance. The reverse design of the Montana quarter immediately draws the eye to its natural beauty. The landscape unfolds gently, featuring sweeping plains, distant mountains, and the Missouri River winding its way through the scene. This river is not just a geographic feature, it is a lifeline that carried explorers, traders, and settlers into the heart of the American West. At the center of the design, the Missouri River flows calmly yet purposefully. It symbolizes movement, discovery, and endurance. Long before roads and railways, this river was a path into the unknown, guiding those who dared to explore beyond the familiar. On the coin, it reminds us that Montana's story is deeply tied to exploration and courage. Rising beyond the river, the mountains stand firm and silent. They represent permanence, strength, and the untamed nature of the land. These mountains have watched generations come and go, shaping lives through harsh winters and breathtaking summers. Their presence on the coin gives it a sense of timelessness. Above the landscape, the words honoring Montana feel earned rather than decorative. Everything about the design feels intentional, calm, and confident, much like the state itself. There is no rush in this image, only quiet power. Turning the coin over, George Washington's portrait brings us back to the nation as a whole. His steady gaze reminds us that Montana's rugged independence exists within the broader American story. The balance between national identity and state pride is one of the greatest strengths of the state quarter program. When the Montana quarter entered circulation in 2007, it joined millions of others moving through everyday life. It passed through hands at gas stations, grocery stores, and small-town shops. Most people never paused to look closely at its design, yet the story was always there, waiting. Collectors, however, did pause. They noticed the clean lines, the peaceful composition, and the way the design captured Montana without exaggeration. This quiet confidence made the coin stand out among many louder designs. Condition plays a critical role in separating ordinary examples from extraordinary ones. A Montana quarter that avoided heavy circulation preserves the fine details of the river, the crisp outlines of the mountains, and the smooth surfaces that frame the scene. Collectors carefully examine these features. The sharpness of the strike, the clarity of the inscriptions, and the absence of wear all contribute to a coin's desirability. In top condition, the design feels alive, as if the landscape itself has been frozen in time. Discovery often comes unexpectedly. A person may be sorting old change, opening a forgotten coin roll, or revisiting a childhood collection when they notice a Montana quarter that looks unusually sharp and clean. In that moment, Curiosity turns into excitement. These discoveries connect people to history in a personal way. Suddenly, Montana's wide-open spaces and frontier spirit are not just ideas, but something tangible held between the fingers. The Montana Quarter also represents the broader story of the American West. It honors exploration, respect for nature, and the strength required to live in harmony with a powerful landscape. This makes the coin meaningful beyond its metal content. Over time, pristine examples become harder to find. Circulation slowly softens the details, and years of handling take their toll. Coins that remain untouched grow more special with each passing year. Within the numismatic community, high-quality Montana quarters earn admiration not just for rarity, but for the way they embody the state's identity. They are seen as honest coins, faithful to their subject. Professional grading has elevated the finest examples, confirming their preservation and allowing them to be recognized on a national and international level. Once certified, these coins enter a different chapter of their journey. Auction rooms grow quiet when exceptional Montana quarters appear. Each bid reflects respect for craftsmanship, history, and the quiet strength captured in the design. What makes this coin truly fascinating is its humble beginning. It was never meant to be rare or valuable. It was meant to circulate, to be spent without thought. Yet time, care, and chance transformed a few examples into something remarkable. The Washington Quarter Dollar State Montana 2007 stands today as a tribute to open land, enduring rivers, and the frontier spirit that helped shape America. It reminds us that value often grows quietly, shaped by time and attention. Now, as we reach the final moment of this journey, it is time to speak of worth. Exceptional examples of the United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar State Montana 2007 have reached a value of $81,000. If you have this coin or any other interesting piece, comment about your own coins so the channel can provide information about them. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and comment, and don't forget to like the video so more people can discover the hidden stories and remarkable value inside American coins. Top 2. Let us take a thoughtful journey into the heart of America, guided by a coin that carries speed, ambition, and history within its small silver surface. The United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar State Indiana 2002 may seem like ordinary change at first glance, but in truth, it holds a powerful story of movement, progress, and a state that has always stood at the crossroads of the nation. Indiana has long been known as the crossroads of America, a place where paths meet, ideas travel, and progress never stands still. When Indiana was honored in the 50 State Quarters program, the designers chose to reflect not just geography, but spirit. This coin captures Indiana's identity as a place driven by motion, innovation, and determination. The reverse design of the Indiana quarter immediately commands attention. At its center is a sleek race car, low and fast, cutting across the surface as if frozen mid-motion. This image pays tribute to the Indianapolis 500, one of the most famous motorsport events in the world and a symbol of speed, engineering excellence, and competitive spirit. Behind the race car, a detailed outline of the state of Indiana anchors the design. Crossing through it are intersecting lines representing roads, highways, and railways, reinforcing Indiana's role as a hub of transportation. This layered imagery tells a complete story in a single glance, a state defined by connection and forward movement. Every detail of the design feels intentional. The race car is not decorative, it is symbolic of ambition and precision. The intersecting lines are not abstract, they reflect generations of travel, trade, and opportunity flowing through Indiana. Turning the coin over, the familiar portrait of George Washington provides balance and continuity. His calm, steady presence reminds us that while states have their own identities, they are united within the larger American story. Indiana's progress exists within the enduring framework of the nation. When the Indiana quarter entered circulation in 2002, it quickly became part of daily life. It passed through toll booths, gas stations, diners, and speedways, often without a second glance. Yet even then, it was quietly carrying Indiana's story into countless hands. Collectors noticed something special about this coin early on. The dynamic design, unusual for a quarter, stood out among more traditional imagery. The sense of motion captured in metal made it memorable and exciting. Condition plays a crucial role in the story of this coin. An Indiana quarter that avoided heavy circulation retains sharp lines on the race car, crisp intersections of the roads, and smooth, reflective fields. These details bring the design to life. Collectors study these features closely. The clarity of the inscriptions, the depth of the engraving, and the strength of the strike all determine whether a coin remains common or becomes extraordinary. Sometimes, discovery happens when least expected. A person sorting through old change, opening a forgotten roll, or revisiting a childhood collection may suddenly notice an Indiana quarter that looks unusually clean and sharp. In that moment, curiosity turns into excitement. That excitement comes from connection. The coin suddenly feels larger than itself, linking the holder to roaring engines, packed grandstands, and a state that thrives on motion and innovation. The Indiana quarter represents more than racing. It reflects the idea of movement in all forms, people traveling, goods moving, and ideas spreading. It honors Indiana's role in helping America move forward. Over time, pristine examples of this coin become harder to find. Circulation dulls surfaces, softens details, and slowly erases the crisp energy of the original design. Coins that escape this fate grow increasingly important. Within the numismatic community, high-grade Indiana quarters earn respect for both design and condition. They are admired not just for scarcity, but for how clearly they express the state's identity. Professional grading has elevated the finest examples, preserving them as historical and artistic artifacts. Once certified, these coins are recognized as exceptional survivors of everyday use. Auction rooms take on a quiet intensity when top-quality Indiana quarters appear. Each bid reflects appreciation for history, craftsmanship, and the story of a state built on connection and speed. What makes this coin especially fascinating is its humble beginning. It was created to circulate, to be spent, to fade into routine. Yet time and care transformed a small number into objects of admiration and value. The Washington Quarter Dollar State Indiana 2002 stands today as a tribute to motion, ambition, and the American drive to move forward. It reminds us that progress often leaves its mark in unexpected places. Coins like this teach us to look closer. What seems ordinary may carry extraordinary meaning. Waiting patiently for someone to notice. As we reach the final moment of this journey, it is time to speak of worth. Exceptional examples of the United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar State Indiana 2002 have reached a value of $90,000. If you have this coin or any other interesting piece, comment about your own coins so the channel can provide information about them. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and comment, and don't forget to like the video so more people can discover the hidden stories and remarkable value inside American coins. Top 3. Let us step back into a turning point of American history, guided by a coin that captures the moment when machines, ambition, and human perseverance reshaped a nation. The United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar State Lowell 2019 is not just a modern coin. It is a tribute to the birthplace of the American Industrial Revolution, a place where water, iron, and human vision changed the course of everyday life forever. Lowell, Massachusetts, was once a quiet riverside area, but history transformed it into a powerhouse of innovation. When factories rose along the canals of the Merrimack River, America entered a new age. This quarter was created to honor that transformation, preserving in metal the story of how industry, labor, and progress came together. The reverse design of the Lowell quarter immediately feels different from many other coins. Instead of mountains or monuments, we see factory buildings, canal gates, and strong industrial forms. These are not symbols of beauty in the traditional sense, yet they carry a powerful kind of elegance rooted in purpose and productivity. The canals shown on the coin represent controlled power. Water once flowed freely, but in Lowell it was harnessed, guided, and transformed into energy that drove looms and machines. This image reminds us that progress often begins with understanding nature and working alongside it. The factory structures stand solid and enduring. They symbolize discipline, organization, and the rise of mass production. Within those walls, thousands of workers helped shape the modern American economy, one shift at a time. What makes this design especially meaningful is its honesty. It does not romanticize labor. It acknowledges effort, routine, and the discipline required to build something lasting. This gives the coin emotional depth and historical weight. Turning the coin over, George Washington's familiar portrait creates a powerful contrast. His image represents the nation's founding ideals, while the reverse shows how those ideals evolved into industry, growth, and opportunity. Together, they tell a complete American story. When the Lowell quarter entered circulation in 2019, it became part of everyday transactions in a digital age. In a world of cards and screens, this coin quietly carried a reminder of the physical labor that once powered the nation. Many people spent it without a second thought, yet collectors paused. They noticed the bold lines, the structured composition, and the seriousness of the design. It stood apart from softer, more scenic coins. Condition plays a major role in this coin's appeal. A Lowell quarter that escaped heavy circulation preserves sharp architectural lines, clean canal details, and smooth surfaces that reflect light evenly. Collectors examine these coins carefully. The precision of the strike, the clarity of the industrial features, and the absence of wear determine whether a coin is ordinary or exceptional. Discovery often comes as a surprise. Someone checking recent change, opening a bankroll, or saving modern quarters may suddenly notice a Lowell coin that looks untouched and strikingly sharp. That moment of realization connects the present to the past. A modern hand holds a symbol of 19th century innovation, bridging centuries through a single object. The Lowell quarter represents more than a place. It represents transformation. It honors the moment when America shifted from handmade goods to mechanized production, changing how people lived and worked. Over time, pristine examples of this coin become less common. Even modern coins face wear, scratches, and fading details. Those that remain in top condition stand out more with each passing year. Within the collecting community, high-grade Lowell quarters are admired for their strong theme and meaningful design. They are appreciated not only for condition, but for the story they tell. Professional grading has helped identify the finest examples, preserving them as historical artifacts of modern coinage. Once certified, these coins gain recognition and respect. Auction interest grows when exceptional Lowell quarters appear. Collectors recognize that industrial history is just as important as military or political history, and this coin captures it perfectly. What makes the Lowell quarter truly fascinating is its relevance. It reminds us that the world we live in today, shaped by factories and systems, began in places just like Lowell. The Washington $quarter state Lowell 2019 stands as a tribute to work, innovation, and the courage to build something new. It teaches us that progress is often forged through effort and persistence. Coins like this encourage us to look closely at everyday objects. Even modern change can carry deep meaning, waiting quietly to be noticed. Now, as we reach the final moment of this journey, it is time to speak of worth. Exceptional examples of the United States of America Washington $quarter state Lowell 2019 have reached a value of $34,000. If you have this coin or any other interesting piece, comment about your own coins so the channel can provide information about them. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and comment. And don't forget to like the video so more people can discover the hidden stories and remarkable value inside American coins. Top 4. Let us slow down and step into a quieter, older chapter of American history, guided by a single coin that carries centuries of tradition within its small surface. The United States of America Washington $quarter state Connecticut 1999 may look simple at first glance, but its story reaches deep into the roots of the nation, where craftsmanship, patience, and stability shaped the American character. Connecticut is often called the Constitution State, a place where early ideas of self-governance, law, and order began to take form. When Connecticut was chosen as part of the 50-state quarters program, the goal was not to overwhelm with grandeur, but to reflect something enduring, something that had stood the test of time. The reverse design of the Connecticut quarter centers on a single, powerful symbol, the charter oak. This tree is not famous for its height or beauty alone, but for what it protected. In its hollow trunk, early Americans hid the royal charter that guaranteed their rights, defying authority to preserve self-rule. On the coin, the charter oak spreads its branches calmly and confidently. Its trunk appears thick and grounded, symbolizing strength, resilience, and patience. This is not a dramatic image, yet it carries enormous meaning, reminding us that freedom is sometimes preserved quietly rather than fought for loudly. The leaves and branches are engraved with care, giving the tree a living presence. Each line suggests growth through time, seasons passing, generations changing, while the core remains strong. This sense of permanence gives the coin its emotional weight. There is no crowd, no battle, no movement in the design, and that is precisely its power. The Connecticut quarter tells a story of protection, foresight, and wisdom, values that helped shape the foundation of the United States. Turning the coin over, the familiar portrait of George Washington creates a perfect balance. His image represents leadership and independence, while the charter oak represents the quiet defense of liberty. Together, they tell a complete American story. When this quarter entered circulation in 1999, it became part of everyday life. It passed through hands at markets, banks, and homes, often without anyone noticing the story engraved upon it. Collectors, however, noticed immediately. The simplicity of the design, combined with its deep historical meaning, set the Connecticut quarter apart. It felt thoughtful, respectful, and timeless. Condition plays a vital role in determining this coin's importance. A Connecticut quarter that avoided heavy circulation preserves the fine details of the bark, the sharpness of the leaves, and the smooth open fields around the tree. Collectors examine these features closely. The clarity of the engraving, the strength of the strike, and the absence of wear transform an ordinary coin into something truly special. Discovery often happens unexpectedly. Someone sorting old change, opening a forgotten roll, or examining a family collection may suddenly notice a Connecticut quarter that looks unusually sharp and well-preserved. In that moment, the coin becomes more than metal. It becomes a connection to colonial knights, hidden charters, and brave decisions made in silence. The Connecticut quarter represents an important lesson in American history. Freedom is not always secured through noise or force. Sometimes it is protected through wisdom, secrecy, and courage behind closed doors. As time passes, pristine examples of this coin become harder to find. Circulation softens the details, and years of handling slowly wear away the sharp lines that give the design its power. Within the numismatic community, high-quality Connecticut quarters are respected for their symbolism and preservation. They are admired not just for rarity, but for the story they carry. Professional grading has helped identify the finest surviving examples, preserving them as historical artifacts. Once certified, these coins are recognized as exceptional survivors of everyday use. Auction rooms grow quiet when top-grade Connecticut quarters appear. Each bid reflects appreciation for history, craftsmanship, and the values the coin represents. What makes this coin truly fascinating is its humble beginning. It was never meant to be rare or valuable. It was meant to circulate freely, yet time and care transformed a few examples into remarkable treasures. The Washington $quarter State Connecticut 1999 stands today as a tribute to quiet strength, thoughtful resistance, and the protection of liberty. It reminds us that the foundations of freedom are often built quietly, but they endure. Coins like this teach us to look closer at everyday objects. History often hides in plain sight, waiting for someone to notice. Now, as we reach the final moment of this journey, it is time to speak of worth. Exceptional examples of the United States of America Washington $quarter State Connecticut 1999 have reached a value of $110,000. If you have this coin or any other interesting piece, comment about your own coins so the channel can provide information about them. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and comment. And don't forget to like the video so more people can discover the hidden stories and remarkable value inside American coins. Top 5. Let us journey into the heart of America's farmlands and traditions, guided by a coin that carries the rhythm of rural life and the pride of honest work within its shining surface. The United States of America Washington $quarter State Wisconsin 2004 may seem simple at first glance, yet it tells a deeply American story of land, labor, and legacy that has shaped generations. Wisconsin is known as America's Dairyland, a place where rolling fields stretch toward the horizon and early mornings begin with purpose. When Wisconsin was honored in the State Quarters program, the designers chose to reflect the soul of the state, not through monuments or cities, but through the everyday symbols that define its people and their way of life. The reverse design of the Wisconsin quarter is both humble and powerful. At its center stands a proud cow, calm and steady, representing the dairy industry that has long been the backbone of the state's economy. This is not just an animal. It is a symbol of nourishment, patience, and consistency. Beside the cow rests a wheel of cheese, instantly recognizable and deeply meaningful. Wisconsin cheese is more than a product. It is a tradition passed down through generations, shaped by skill, care, and time. On the coin, the cheese represents craftsmanship and pride in quality. Completing the scene is an ear of corn, standing tall and full. Corn represents agriculture, abundance, and the connection between land and people. Together, these three elements create a balanced portrait of Wisconsin's identity, grounded in hard work and respect for nature. The beauty of this design lies in its honesty. There is no exaggeration, no drama, only quiet confidence. The coin celebrates everyday effort, reminding us that the nation is built not only by leaders in battles, but by farmers, workers, and families. Turning the coin over, George Washington's familiar portrait brings a sense of unity. His presence reminds us that Wisconsin's agricultural strength is part of the larger American story, supporting the nation from its fields and farms. When the Wisconsin quarter entered circulation in 2004, it quickly blended into daily life. It passed through grocery stores, rural markets, and kitchen tables, often unnoticed, even as it carried a meaningful story in plain sight. Collectors, however, noticed the design immediately. Its clarity, balance, and symbolism stood out among many state quarters. It felt authentic, rooted in real life rather than abstraction. Condition plays a crucial role in this coin's journey. A Wisconsin quarter that avoided heavy circulation preserves the sharp lines of the cow, the textured details of the corn, and the smooth curves of the cheese. Collectors study these features carefully. The strength of the strike, the clarity of the inscriptions, and the absence of wear determine whether a coin remains common or becomes extraordinary. Discovery often happens by surprise. Someone sorting old change, opening a forgotten roll, or examining a family collection may suddenly find a Wisconsin quarter that looks unusually crisp and untouched. In that moment, the coin becomes more than currency. It becomes a connection to early mornings on farms, steady routines, and generations who worked the land with pride. The Wisconsin quarter represents a broader American value: respect for honest labor. It honors the idea that consistency, patience, and care create lasting strength. As years pass, pristine examples become increasingly rare. Circulation dulls details and softens edges, making untouched coins stand out more with time. Within the numismatic community, high-grade Wisconsin quarters earn admiration for both their condition and their meaningful design. They are appreciated not only for scarcity, but for what they represent. Professional grading has helped preserve the finest examples, recognizing them as exceptional survivors of everyday use. Once certified, these coins gain recognition and respect. Auction rooms grow attentive when top-quality Wisconsin quarters appear. Each bid reflects appreciation for craftsmanship, history, and the quiet dignity captured in the design. What makes this coin especially fascinating is its humble origin. It was created to circulate, to be spent without thought, yet time and care transformed a few into remarkable pieces. The Washington Quarter Dollar State, Wisconsin, 2004 stands today as a tribute to agriculture, tradition, and the steady heartbeat of America's heartland. It reminds us that value often grows slowly, shaped by dedication and time. Coins like this teach us to look closer at what we hold. Even the simplest designs can carry powerful stories, waiting patiently to be noticed. Now, as we reach the final moment of this journey, it is time to speak of worth. Exceptional examples of the United States of America. Washington Quarter Dollar State, Wisconsin, 2004 have reached a value of $80,000. If you have this coin or any other interesting piece, comment about your own coins so the channel can provide information about them. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and comment, and don't forget to like the video so more people can discover the hidden stories and remarkable value inside American coins.